Dear Alexander Grigorievich, thank you once again for accepting the invitation and coming to Moscow for the event marking the 80th anniversary of Russia's atomic industry. In fact, this is our joint celebration. Firstly, because it marks 80 years since the founding of the atomic industry in the USSR. That's where we were together. Yes, we were there together at that time. Secondly, today Belarus has become a significant partner for us in the field of nuclear energy, since the first nuclear power plant was established in Belarus, and moreover, a Belarusian industry has emerged, with specialists working alongside Rosatom on the construction of nuclear facilities in third countries. This is, of course, gratifying. As you said yesterday, about 40% of electricity in Belarus is generated by the nuclear power plant. We've created a competitor for Gazprom, which previously supplied primary energy carriers to Belarus, but now the demand has decreased accordingly. Overall, the situation in our economic sphere is very good. It's quite astonishing. We have over $50 billion in trade turnover, over 50 billion, and it continues to grow from this large base. It grew last year, and in the first half of this year as well. The accumulated investments amount to $4.5 billion. Russia leads here among Belarus trade economic partners. Across practically all lines we are actively working. And that includes security and the security of the Union State. As we agreed, everything is moving forward rhythmically and steadily. Naturally, everything is developing. I want to thank you for such an attentive attitude toward all aspects of our interaction. I am very glad to see you. Welcome. At one time, we did a lot together for the development of the atomic industry, and even today we remain together. We built a nuclear power plant thanks to you, and moreover, you fulfilled your promise. You taught us to build nuclear power plants. Today, together with you, we help build nuclear power plants in other countries. Russia is very satisfied with our builders, many of whom work abroad. This was recently publicly announced by governors. Therefore, we will jointly develop the competencies we acquired during the construction of the nuclear power plant. We will use them for the benefit of Belarus and Russia. I mentioned yesterday that today we will discuss, if you approve, a project for the expansion or construction of a new nuclear power plant. Maybe even in the east of Belarus, if there arises a need, to ensure electricity supply to regions liberated by Russia, Kherson, Zaporizhia, Luhansk, Donetsk. If there will be a need related to the Zaporizhia plant. But I must tell you, we had no electricity deficit. We worried about what would happen after we built the plant. The economy grows. Yes, the economy grows. Listen, more and more electric cars are appearing. They need to be recharged, charging stations. We have learned to produce them and sell them in Russia. And most importantly, we already conducted experiments. There were residential buildings where traditional supplies were replaced with electricity. It works well. You know, artificial intelligence, data centers, you can develop actively. As you said yesterday, yes, another consumer appears. Very powerful. Rosatom has already worked out options for further expansion of our nuclear energy. I want to publicly mention finances. We have options, and I will share them with you. If a decision is made, we will immediately start a new power unit or build a new plant if there is a need in Western Russia or the liberated regions. The government will calculate this. The financing question doesn't even arise. If there is a consumer ready to take the electricity and pay the required rate, there is absolutely no problem. Yes, that's the most important thing. There are a couple of questions we usually need to settle by the end of the year. There's even one question in bilateral relations. But I would like to discuss with you a few regional issues. You know what they are. People say we meet often, but I feel it's been a long time, and many questions have accumulated, which we will discuss today and make the appropriate decisions. Thank you very much. With the initiative from Russia, which also has its own challenges, we now discuss peaceful nuclear energy. We've gathered at the World Atomic Week Forum, where Russia shares its experience. Name another country with similar technologies that would so openly, honestly declare, "Come and see our most advanced technologies." In these difficult times, Russia reveals its most secret sphere. As Alexei Lukashenko, Rosatom CEO, mentioned here, most of it was demonstrated for Belarus. The Atomic Week is another striking demonstration of Russia's undeniable leadership in nuclear science, high and multidisciplinary technologies on the international stage. Thank you for implementing this project and, Alexei Lukashenko, for not leaving Belarus. To be frank, Vladimir Vladimirovic and I will consult tomorrow, discuss, and decide on building a second nuclear power plant in Belarus. We have no doubts about who will build this plant. We will build it together with the Russians, as they taught us how to do it. And, at Rosatom's request, we are already participating in building similar plants in other individual states. Mr. Grossi, I want to thank you for being a true gentleman, a true person. Our plant, as you may remember, was seriously politicized. They argued we were building the wrong thing in the wrong place. The Americans were against it, and the Europeans were furious. You visited this plant many times, and you openly told journalists not to attack Belarus. That together with the Russians, we were building the most advanced plant. You had no concerns. If you raised any questions, we always addressed them. Today, the former minister, now Deputy Prime Minister of our government, who was responsible for building this plant is present here. You have done a tremendous job. You never let us or the Russians down, and you never made us apologize. You are a sincere and decent person. So, as Vladimir Vladimirovic said, if Mr. Grossi ever wants to lead the United Nations, why would we object? Thank you very much for all you have done. Vladimir Vladimirovic, thank you for the science. Thank you for making our country a true nuclear state. Without keeping any secrets, complying with international law and principles, you're ready to work further not only in Belarus, but also on the international stage, helping build plants. Armenia takes its international obligations seriously and reaffirms its commitment to the standards and principles of the international non-proliferation regime. Ladies and gentlemen, considering these aspects, the Armenian government has approved a policy to maintain a nuclear power plant as an essential component of the country's power balance. Safe operation of the Armenian nuclear power plant is a strategic priority for the Armenian government and plays a central role in ensuring our energy security, fulfilling our nationally determined contributions under the Paris Agreement, and supporting national economic growth. At the same time, the strategic importance of nuclear energy places a special responsibility on us towards present and future generations. We regularly conduct inspections and expert assessments, the reports of which clearly show Armenia operates its nuclear power plant in accordance with IAEA safety standards, as shown by the absence of any nuclear or radiation safety incidents. This principle formed the basis for extensive modernization carried out at the plant in recent years, allowing us to extend its operation until 2026. Building on this experience, Armenia, like many other countries, has decided to further extend the operation of its NPP from 2026 to 2036. The project for modernization and extended operation of the Armenian NPP is not merely a technical task but the result of fruitful and trusting partnership between Armenia and Rosatom and other international partners. This extension will establish a solid foundation for a smooth transition to a new power unit after the extended operation of the Armenian NPP, which is our ultimate goal. In this context, Armenia intends to continue developing close cooperation with the IAEA and partner countries to determine the optimal solution for replacing the existing power unit, considering economic efficiency, safety, and the specifics and nature of the country's energy system.